Welcome to Keyboard Warrior Radio Theater.
Things are getting worse and worse. Honestly, there's no hope. We should give up. The world is just a big old crap hole.
Oh, come on. You can't give up hope, man. Things always look darkest just before the dawn, and right now, what you're facing, this is the monster that you have to slay in order to be the hero that I know that you can be. You're never going to fulfill your destiny by sitting around being hopeless. We're never going to make the world better that way, you know?
Look, the sea levels are going to be rising. We just elected a proto-fascist as the president of the United States. There's a rise of far-right nationalist movements around the world. Things are getting worse and worse, and I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I'm not going to put on a false veneer of hope and pretend the world is okay. Yeah, just look away from the Dakota Access Pipeline camp they just shut down. Just look away from it. Yeah, let's be hopeful and look away from the horrors of the world. You're right.
We don't have to look away from anything. In fact, hopelessness makes us want to look away. We need to face the darkest demons that exist in the world. And if we can look them in the eye, each one of those horrible, awful things you mentioned and everything else, and just say, I can defeat you. We can defeat you. That's going to be what brings the change. A realistic look at the situation and resolve to do what's right. There's nothing more useless than hopelessness. Nothing.
Well, I mean, okay, just as a thought experiment, let's say that you're in a situation where it's impossible to change something. Assume, for the sake of discussion, that you're completely powerless. So then having hope that you can change the things is going to be a false, a futile hope, a painful hope that destroys you, that eats you out from the inside and makes you crumble away into a shell of what you formerly were. That's why I think what you're advocating for is just hopelessly naive.
You know who was in a situation that looked like they were absolutely powerless to do anything? Luke Skywalker, Harry Potter. Every single person who ever went on a journey and defeated evil had to do so against enormous odds. And yes, we're against enormous odds because that's how reality works. That's how the story plays out. But it means nothing to slay the dragon if the dragon isn't difficult to slay. If it doesn't seem like you're powerless. You're not powerless. You're never powerless. Your thought experiment is invalid. There's always a lever you can push. There's something you can do.
Know who is a fictional character? Luke Skywalker. Know who is a fictional character? Harry Potter. You know what I'm noticing here about all these anecdotes that you're giving about all these wonderful things that happened? They're all stories for children. Just like hope. Hope is a story for children. And you're trying to infantilize me by lowering me to its level. I don't even see the point in trying to convince you. This conversation is just hopeless.
Don't be hopeless. I think this conversation, you know, there's a chance that we can learn a lot from each other. And I think you specifically have something to learn from me. And, you know, saying that Harry Potter isn't real, saying that Luke Skywalker isn't real, that's just not true. Harry Potter is real. It's just that we don't really know about it because we're muggles and we don't have magic. And so like those things are happening in this sort of like side world. And like, you got to read the books, but like, trust me, it's real.
What? You literally think that Harry Potter is real? Man, you're gullible. I bet you think we live on a globular Earth, don't you? Hashtag flat Earth truth.
Why, yes, I do. I do think we live on a globe Earth. All the science seems to point to it, and there's nothing in Harry Potter that contradicts it. So if you watch the Star Wars movies, every single planet is spheroid shaped. So the idea that our planet would be flat is just completely ahistorical according to the accounts that I've seen, Star Wars and Harry Potter.
This is such a great example of why it's hopeless to try to talk to someone like you. Your best evidence that we don't live on a flat Earth is Star Wars? Okay, how about this? Look at it this way. Have you ever seen the Earth from space? Or is that something photoshopped by NASA to keep their budget high? Think about it.
And we'll see you next time for another episode of Keyboard Warrior Radio Theater.